Today, now we are going to the last class continuation, Oogenesis. Oogenesis, Oogonia or oocytes. Germ cells from yolk sac migrate to the ovary and becomes a potential egg cells is called oogonia. Oogonia is the mother cells of the egg formation. In fetus, millions of oogonia produced by mitosis, but most of them degenerate. In a fetus development, during the female fetus developed in a millions of oogonia produced by mitosis, but most of them degenerated. Some developed into immature egg cells is called a primary oocyte. Oogonia is the parental cell or mother cells of the egg formation. Some developed into a immature egg cells is called a primary oocytes. During the fetal development, 2 lakh to 2 million presents at birth. 40,000 remaining at the puberty, but only 400 mature during a woman's reproductive life. So in a female child, during the birth, in female child contain 2 million to 2 million sperms at a birth, but 40,000 remains at the puberty. And to the reproductive stage, the female child or female contain 40,000, but only the 400 matures during the woman's reproductive life, because every month to develop a single egg cells or oogonia. A oogonia furtherly undergo developed in a primary oocytes. Primary oocytes is nothing but immature egg cells. So previously you studied them spermatids. Spermatids is an immature or inactive spermatozoa. The inactive spermatozoa change into active spermatozoa is called spermiogenesis. So similarly, the premature or immature egg cells is called primary oocytes. Next one. So each month about 20 primary oocytes becomes a secondary oocytes. So every month 20 oocytes become a secondary oocytes, but usually one of a supposed to be ovulation from graphenes. Only one for them releases during the ovulation. It is the diagrammatic representation of the oogenesis. So see the picture. Oogenesis. It is the oogonium or parental or mother cells of the egg. Egg mother cells is called oogonium. Oogonium undergo to the mitotic cell division and form a diploid cell conditions. The cells enter to the meiosis 1 or primary oocytes enter to the meiosis 1, form a secondary oocytes and a first polar body. Primary oocytes undergo a meiosis cell division, form a two unequal cells, one larger cell, one smaller cell. The smaller cells is called a polar body. Larger cells is called a oocytes. Larger cells is called a oocytes or secondary oocytes. The larger cells furtherly undergo to form a secondary oocytes. This secondary oocytes fused with a male gametes and form a fertilization. So this secondary oocytes then furtherly developed into secondary oocytes and a secondary polar body. So see the pictures. It is the primary polar body. The primary polar body is furtherly developed into two daughters and form a secondary polar body. The secondary oocytes is completely developed, or secondary oocytes is divided into two unequal cells, one larger cells, one smaller cells. This larger cells is called as ovum or egg. It is the larger cells It is the smaller cells. Larger cells is called ovum or egg. Smaller cells is called a secondary polar body. The egg is fused with the sperm to form a diploid zygote. It is the diploid zygote. It is the diagrammatic representation of the oogenesis. So egg forming cell, oocytes, are the immature egg. Oocytes go through two divisions. First primary and second one secondary. First divisions primary division, second division on the secondary divisions. Start with 2n equal to 46. Already you know number of chromosomes in human being 46 or 23 pair. First two oocytes that it divides resulting into a 2 n equal to 23 cells, but one is a larger, second one larger. Second oocytes and one is a smallest. First polar body that may itself divided. Starting with a 2n equal to 46. During the oogenesis, oocytes undergo two types of division, primary division and secondary division. Primary oocytes undergo the two division, primary and secondary division. Started with a 2n equal to 46. Diploid natures 2n equal to 46. It is the diploid nature. Primary oocytes undergo a primary division to form a 2n equal to 23 cells. 2n equal to 23 cells, but one is a larger oocytes and one is a smaller polar body. It is the larger oocytes and it is the smaller polar body. They may be itself divided. Furtherly, the secondary oocytes divide and the polar body divide in continuously. The oogenesis resulted in the one larger fertilized egg zygote. Secondary division only occurs if a secondary oocyte is fertilized, resulting in one larger n equal to 23 ovumes and one smaller 23 equal to second polar body. So this is the picture. Oogenesis resulted in the larger fertilized egg. It is the larger one. This fertilized eggs zygote secondary division only occurs if oocyte is fertilized. So secondary divisions occurs after secondary division. So it is the primary division. A primary oocytes change into secondary oocytes as a primary division. A secondary oocytes then furtherly undergo a secondary division to form a secondary oocytes. This secondary oocytes is fused with a sperm or occurs in fertilization, results in one large and one smaller polar body, one larger egg. This is a diploid nature cells. So primary division form a secondary oocytes. These secondary oocytes furtherly enter to the secondary division to form a one larger egg and one smaller polar body. And the possible there are three smaller polar bodies. Possibility for the three smaller polar bodies. That is the oogenesis process. Then next one's structure of ovum or female gametes. Structure of ovum or female gametes. Human ovum is a non-clitoid, so elicitals and microscopic natures. It is a non-clitoid or a non-covered shell. So microscopic, elicital and microscopic, very minute. It is the largest cell in the human body. So size is a sand particle. Its cytoplasms is called a ooplasms. Contain a large nucleus is called a germinal vesicles. Cytoplasms is called as ooplasm. It contains a larger nucleus. The nucleus is also known as the cell is called as germinal vesicles. The ovum is surrounded by a three covering, namely an vitelline membrane, then zona pellucida and corona radiata. These are the outer covering membrane or layers of the egg or female gametes. It is the diagrammatic view of the female gametes or ovum. The outer region corona radiata, then middle region zona pellucida, and inner regions of the egg vitelline membrane. It is the nucleus. It is the nucleus and germinal vesicles and ooplasm. The cytoplasm is also known as ooplasm. The nucleus is also known as germinal vesicles. It is the structure of egg. So, in review of the egg schematic representation. So, corona radiata is formed as ciliary cells, then plasma membrane and nucleus, then nucleus and cytoplasm and zona pellucida. Corona radiata, then zona pellucida and vitelline membranes is three productive membranes of the egg cells. The egg cytoplasm is also called as ooplasm. The nucleus is also called as what? Nucleus is also called as germinal vesicles. It is the diagrammatic view of the female gametes or egg cells. It is the transosection of the ovary. So various stages of the transosections of the ovary: blood vessels, primary follicles, and secondary follicles, tertiary follicles. It is the developmental stages of the egg cells. So primary follicles furtherly develop into secondary and tertiary follicles, then tertiary follicles and mature Graafian follicles, then secondary oocytes. Secondary oocytes is released or egg is released from the Graafian follicles or the corpus luteum. Graafian follicles is releases of the ovary by the process of ovulation. This ovum is formed or ovary is produce a ovum. Next one, the inner thin transparent vitelline membrane. Vitelline membranes is the innermost membranes of the egg cells, and the middle thick zona pellucida. Zona pellucida is the middle regions, very thick regions of the egg cells. The outer thick coat of a follicular cells is called corona radiata. Corona radiata is the outermost layers of the egg cells. It is the structure of eggs. So now today we are completed in gametogenesis, both male and female gametes.